I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. These words haunted me. They weren't mine. They belonged to my best friend, Jean. Jean would utter, I hate my life to me every single day. And as much as I tried to comfort her, I couldn't blame her. Her life was hard, brutally hard. Jean was abandoned by her father before she even learned to speak his name. She grew up in a slum, sharing a cramped room with multiple families, with no refrigerator, no space for privacy, and no holiday cheer. No Christmas trees, no Christmas lights, no Christmas. Celebrations did not have room in her life. She was relentlessly bullied for her size. Fat, they called her. Ugly, they spat at her. There were times when they would only have rice and salt as viand, or for variety, rice and sugar for their meals. Her relatives said she'd never amount to anything. And life seemed determined to prove them right. Jean went to school without food or money. She mastered the art of jumping off moving jeepneys because she couldn't afford the fare. At lunch, she'd collect and return soda bottles, 1 peso each, just to buy enough for a meal. When she finally got to college on a scholarship, it didn't cover books. But Jean wouldn't let that stop her. She borrowed books from her classmates and copied them by hand into her notebooks. Every single word. And then just when she thought she couldn't take anymore, life delivered its cruelest blow. Jean was a single mom when her 2-year-old son died. And soon thereafter, Jean seemed to die a slow, painful death. If you'd seen her then, you might have thought, there's no way someone like her will make it. Jean thought that too. For years, she hated her life. But here's the thing about life. It can break you, but it can also transform you if you allow it. Something shifted in Jean. One day, in the middle of all her pain, she asked herself, what if my life doesn't have to stay this way? That single question became her first pivot. She decided to stop running from her circumstances and start fighting through them. And when she pivoted, she discovered something profound. The key to change is persistence. Jean refused to give up. She studied harder than most, worked longer than most, and dreamed bigger than most. She persisted when others gave up. She persisted when the world told her no. And eventually, Jean began to prosper. The same girl who jumped off jeepneys is now celebrated as one of the 100 most influential Filipino women on LinkedIn for 3 consecutive years. A nominee for Tatler Magazine's inaugural Front and Female Awards. The recipient of honors like Miss Provinciana Icon, Empowered Filipino Women Leaders of Change, and Philippine Blockchain Champion. Jean became the only Filipino recipient of global accolades like the top 20 women in blockchain, women in fintech power list, rising women in crypto power list, and top 20 leaders in blockchain. Her name now commands attention in boardrooms across industries. She's the founding director of the Blockchain Council of the Philippines, a board of trustee and treasurer of the Healthcare Information Management Association of the Philippines. She's the education director of a global AI council. She's also a board of trustee of Humanity, an organization that aims to empower, emancipate, and educate street children. She founded Women in Blockchain Philippines and is a cornerstone of initiatives like Global Women Who Rule and Digital Innovation for Women's Advancement. She is also internationally a sought after speaker about women in tech and women empowerment. Jean didn't just survive, she thrived. Jean got married and just recently celebrated her golden birthday and her 17th wedding anniversary. She is also blessed with 3 wonderful, amazing children. But here's the twist. Jean, the girl who hated her life, who was bullied, starved, ridiculed, and broken, is me. Yes, I am Jean. I am the girl who spent her childhood jumping off jeepneys. I am the girl who transcribed textbooks by hand. I am the girl who buried her 2-year-old son and died figuratively in the process. For years, I hated my life. But today, I stand before you, not as the person I hated, but as the person I choose to become. Here's what I learned from my journey. Life will try to break you. It will test you in ways you can't imagine. But you always have a choice. Number 1, pivot. When life knocks you down, don't stay there. Change direction. Shift your mindset. 2, persist. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes grit, sacrifice, and an unrelenting belief in yourself, even when no one believes in you. 3, prosper. Prosperity isn't just about money or awards. It's about thriving in the life you once thought was impossible. If someone like me, Jean, the girl who hated her life, can transform her pain into power, imagine what you can do. To anyone who's ever whispered, I hate my life, I want you to know this. Your story isn't over. The life you hate could become the life you love. All it takes is the courage to pivot, the strength to persist, and the faith to prosper. Thank you very much.